Applying on LinkedIn or Indeed.com doesn't work like it did before. Nowadays, people send hundreds of applications and get zero responses, even with strong resumes and relevant work experience. Why is this happening? In this video, we'll cover how fake CVs and AI tools are flooding recruiters with applications, ghost jobs, screening tools used by tech companies to evaluate and filter out candidates, and of course, my advice on what to do instead of cold applying on job boards. Alright, let's start with what's actually happening in the interview process. I found many reports online that tech companies are flooded with an enormous amount of job applications. Some resources say that a single job opening can get more than 1,000 applicants. That's a crazy number. Just imagine your resume sitting in a pile of 1,000. No wonder people aren't getting interviews. But where are all those resumes coming from? First of all, people started actively using AI tools for applying, such as Job Copilot, Bulk Apply, and others. Basically, you upload your resume to one of these tools, tell it what jobs you're looking for, then the bot automatically monitors job boards and applies on your behalf daily. Moreover, it might slightly modify your resume to match the job description and autofill applications on companies' career pages. And a lot of people do that actually. You might have noticed that recently posted positions, let's say an hour or so ago, already have a huge number of applicants, like hundreds in an hour. All of that is auto-applied by bots. The crazy part is that in today's tough job market, some people apply not only to roles in their direct field, but also to all adjacent ones. For example, an Android developer might apply to iOS, Flutter, and React Native positions using these tools, which further increases the amount of applications companies receive. But here's where it gets wild. The same tools that help job seekers are also used to spam companies with completely fake resumes. It's like a weird digital data grab. Some folks are literally running A/B tests on different fake resumes to see what works, or trying to pull information from the interview process itself. On top of that, we still have a weak tech job market with ongoing layoffs. For example, according to the website trueup.io, so far in 2025 there have been 559 layoffs at tech companies, with 158,000 people impacted. 553 people per day. And as for the number of tech jobs, there hasn't been a significant change in the number of new tech jobs posted since 2023. The demand is slowly going up, but not fast enough to break the current trend. That means that the market hasn't fully stabilized, and it's an employer's market at the moment. Alright, let's now talk about how recruiters are actually handling these huge numbers of applications. Just imagine receiving 1,000 applications for a senior dev position. What do you think they're doing? Looking through those manually? If a recruiter spends just 3 minutes on each resume, that's 50 hours of work, more than a whole work week just to review applications for a single role. It's physically impossible for them to do that manually. That's why they use AI-powered ATS, or applicant tracking systems. The most common ones are Lever, Greenhouse, Smart Recruiters, and many others. You've probably seen those names when applying for a job. Unlike old-school tools that just track and sort applications, AI-powered ones do much more. They scan resumes, rank and filter candidates, predict who's most likely to get hired, and even handle communication using machine learning. Let's talk about how resume screening programs actually work so that you understand what happens with your CV after you click that Easy Apply button. First of all, your resume text is parsed into structured data like name, skills, years of experience, and education. Then keywords from the target job description are matched against your resume markers. After that, AI model assigns a relevance score. If the score is too low, your application might even never reach a human. Recruiters usually see just the top slice of resumes, about 10%, and start reviewing from there. From that pool, they decide who gets a callback. The interesting part is that the AI model learns from recruiters' actions, such as marking resumes as relevant or not relevant. Okay, how can you get a higher score? I can give you a few general tips. First and most obvious, tailor your resume to a specific position by using keywords in the job description. Literally copy the exact phrases like Swift UI, REST APIs, or team leadership. Second, keep formatting simple without fancy columns or graphics. ATS can't read them anyway. Third, if you've got a gap between jobs, list your freelance or side projects as work experience. Just make sure it's legit work. And finally, you can check your resume with an ATS simulator online or just ask someone to review it. By the way, I offer help with that and mock interviews. Links down below. Another phenomenon that I want to cover is ghost jobs. Ghost jobs are openings that companies post don't actually plan to fill. Sometimes they do that to collect resumes for the future, test market interest, or just look like they're growing and actively hiring. It's especially common among startups because actively posting jobs signals health and growth, which can be important for fundraising or stock prices. You might apply, never hear back, and saying that you were just not good enough. But that might have been a ghost job from the start. Alright, we've covered why cold applying doesn't work as well as before. Now, let's talk about what to do instead. The most important takeaway from this video is that you should apply through referrals, not job boards. I had a client who was an iOS engineer from the Bay Area. In our first session, he showed me a Google Sheet where he tracked all of his job applications. And there he had something like 135 applications and just one interview with rejection. That's a lot of effort with very little return. What he was doing was just farming LinkedIn every day and just applying everywhere. Honestly, I was shocked by that, and I helped him clean up his resume and suggested he focus on referrals. I told him to do whatever it takes to get those referrals because they dramatically increase your chances of getting a job offer by 5 to 15 times. After making this change, things turned around for him and he received multiple interview invitations in the next months. The value of referrals has gone up because of this situation with thousands of applications that companies receive. When you're referred, your resume is uploaded to the same ATS system, but the path your resume takes is different from cold applications. When an employee refers you, they usually submit your CV through the internal portal. The system automatically tags your profile as referral and routes it to the recruiter's shortlist, skipping the AI filtering stage. Recruiters often have filters like show referred candidates first. So you technically go through the same system, but you bypass the automated rejection layer for cold applicants. Recruiters actually read referred resumes because they trust them more. Referrals have usually a higher success rate and come with social proof from someone inside the company. Plus, employees often get bonuses for successful referrals. Referred candidates are more likely to get hired, often skipping early screenings and getting straight into real interviews. How to get those referrals? I would suggest actively reaching out to people from the company you want to apply to. That includes friends, ex-colleagues, preferably people you worked with before. Alternatively, you can try asking for a referral in some online communities you're part of, like Discord servers for programmers, Slack groups, or Telegram chats. If you're a member of a community, there is a higher chance of getting a referral than just randomly messaging someone on LinkedIn. Of course, it works best if you have some social capital in your community, meaning you're a valuable member who helps others, answers questions, and shares some useful resources. Another way to get referrals and potential opportunities is event networking. I fully understand networking is tough for many people, especially software engineers who are often introverted, but I still want to say that hackathons, meetups, or tech conference are a great way to meet real people and even showcase your work and experience. Also, you can play the long game and build an online presence. You can pick a platform or medium you prefer: GitHub contributions, blog posts, personal portfolio, or a website. If you do something impactful, people would be happy to refer you because they already know your work. Sometimes opportunities even come to you. I personally know a guy who was an active contributor to a few popular GitHub repositories. Meta was hunting him for years, reaching out to him again and again. Eventually, he decided to interview and join the company. Alright, let's wrap up. As the online world becomes more and more cluttered with AI-generated content and tools, the value of personal relationships and real-world connection goes up. That shift makes job boards less effective and turns referrals into the main way to land a job. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.